So this is day one of my 5-day juice fast. Last night I had an enema though, which is like a lead in, and then I had an enema this morning. So I've already had 2 enemas before I even had my juice. So I'm kind of feeling I might have been tricked into some enema cult. Breakfast is obviously not eating. I have 2 juices a day, one's at noon and the other one's at dinner time. So for breakfast, this is what I'm doing for breakfast over the next several days. I'm just pouring warm tea into my ass. That's my breakfast. Really, really good. It's yummy.
And salad.
My last meal.
Hour.
Five, actually could be longer than 5 days because I've got to do something. Reintroduction to food process. So it's going to be about 10 days.
Good dinner.
Yep.
And I love you, Dad. Mummy's away.
Yeah. Alright, so this is day one. Last night I did a lead-in enema. So I put tea into my ass and I've just dropped my kids at school, and this morning I am doing an enema as well. So I've just brewing my anal tea there. I just got that going before I drop the kids off, and I'm about to do my second enema, and then I have my first juice about 11:30. In addition to that, you have this stuff called colloidal silver. You put about 20 mils of that in 60 mils of warm water. So I had that last night after my enema, and I had that this morning as well. So what I thought I'd do now is weigh myself. I'm not actually doing this for weight loss purposes, but it's always interesting. I know a lot of people do this for weight loss, so I'm gonna weigh myself just so, we can turn that light off. Just for analytical purposes, it'd be interesting to know. Definitely around here. So I'm reasonably fit right now, but I'm carrying a bit around there. It's definitely a bit of flab around there. Up the top, not too bad. I've got a bit of shape, but there's definitely room for improvement. All right, so it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the first day. I'm about to have my first juice. Right now I'm feeling a little bit fatigued, maybe because of the enemas. It really does flush you right out. And also I normally have a coffee or 2 coffees by now, and I haven't had a coffee at all. So feeling a bit, I don't have a headache, but a bit lightheaded and feeling a bit fatigued. So hopefully this juice is going to perk me up. So I've got 100 ml happening. 100 ml of apple, 100 ml of carrot, beetroot, and we're going to do 50 ml of this celery into that juicer there. And that's going to be my first juice of 2 today. You know what? That is actually pretty bloody good. It's really nice. So we're at the end of day one. It is 8:30 and I just want to go to bed, basically. I've probably from about mid-afternoon I really started to struggle. Physically I feel really good. It's more in the head. I'm just going to go hit the hay and hopefully wake up tomorrow, although I've been told day 1 and day 2 are the worst, but hopefully wake up tomorrow with a little bit more clarity and mental energy. So this is day 2. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm having my first juice. Today I'm feeling better than I was yesterday afternoon. Yesterday afternoon in the head I was feeling really, really fatigued and lethargic, and I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't do any work at all yesterday afternoon, and that's mainly to do with coffee, according to Tim. I'm addicted to coffee. I normally have 2 or 3 a day and I haven't had any. So those symptoms have sort of spilt into today a little bit. I'm still not firing at work and my concentration's been poor, not as poor as it was yesterday, but physically I feel really good. Now, one thing I've recognized today is that I'm now in the program, so I'm sort of getting used to it, and I read it before I started, but now I'm doing it. Sort of recognized that my breakfast is actually an enema. That's what I do for breakfast time, which is pouring warm tea into my anus. So I'm kind of still trying to get used to that. And I haven't done a crap since I started doing this, because enema process, obviously when you put the warm tea in and you get through that process, you hold it in for 10 minutes, then you go to the toilet. So that's been interesting too. But you know, right now I'm feeling pretty good. All right, so I know this is a bit gross, but I am documenting this entire process. And I was just working at my desk over here. Just finished off my juice, day 2, leant forward. What I thought was going to be just a gentle little fluff fart, and basically shat myself. Just threw away a pair of underpants and had to clean myself up. Bit of tea still in there from this morning's enema maybe, and yeah, wasn't good. Just happened. Something else I thought. This is the fatigue. Something else I thought I would mention is that Tim suggested some breathing exercises, and many of my subscribers will know that I'm into my Wim Hof. So today, about 11 o'clock, I actually did Wim Hof, which is 30 big deep breaths, exhalation, you do a pause, repeat, pause, and then you do it again, and then you finish off with 60 push-ups, and light exercise is okay. And I actually felt quite a fair bit better after I did that. So I think those breathing exercises, not only are they good just to make you generally feel better, but particularly the coffee withdrawal symptoms in the head, it's going to help a lot with that. So it's still day 2, it's 4:30 in the afternoon, and I'm actually starting to feel pretty good. My head feels like it's almost completely cleared, and I feel really energized. I wasn't expecting to feel good on day 2. In fact, I heard day 2 can quite often be the worst, and definitely for me so far, the afternoon on day 1 has been the worst. And right now, feeling pretty good. Alright, so it's day 3, and today's been an interesting day. I actually thought today I was going to be feeling a little bit better based off of some of the things I've read and seen, but I had pretty bad sleep. I woke up at about 5:30, couldn't get back to sleep. I desperately felt like having a coffee this morning. In fact, if it meant that I could cheat the system, I probably would have stuck my dick in a blender just to get to that sweet black nectar. But in addition to that feeling, I also woke up feeling I was sort of aching and sore in my legs and in my lower back. So I don't know whether that's the kidneys detoxing. And while I haven't had the head fatigue today, I've certainly been a bit slow. In fact, both my kids, I don't know if they do this every weekend, but I feel like they've been playing daddy ping pong all day, question after question, daddy this, daddy, 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 daddy. It's been unbelievable. So I've been calm, because I know what's going on in my head, but that has really been drilling into me, which is interesting in itself. Right now, my 8-year-old, or almost 8, she's got 2 friends over, and I'm taking them to dinner at the Brown Cow. I'm not eating, I'm going to have a juice before we go, and I'm going to sit there and watch them eat. So that will be an interesting experience in itself, but hopefully tomorrow, I'm hoping day 4 and day 5 is when I'm really going to start to come alive and feel awesome. We'll wait and see. Just thought I'd also add that this morning I weighed myself. I'm not doing this for weight loss, but just out of curiosity. And I was holding the camera, which added 200 grams, but I've lost 3.5 kilos in what was then 2.5 days, which is pretty interesting. All right, so this is morning of the day 4. Look what I'm cooking here. But it's not for me, it's for these ones over there. So I'm cooking pikelets for them as well, and I've been doing this mornings and evenings for both my kids, cooking, making food and not eating myself. And you think that would be torture, but I actually haven't found it too bad. I've got a white tea that I have, and then once they go, I'm gonna go to the bathroom for you know what. All right, so I've just got back from a bike ride with the kids, and a little bit of light exercise is a-okay, part of this program. But today's been an interesting day, day 4. I started off by feeling pretty good this morning. Probably up until about late morning, I was feeling the best I've felt. And then all of a sudden, like in here and like back there, so kidneys and the pancreas started to ache. So that aching sensation as per yesterday, and I started to feel just a little bit lethargic and tired again. So kind of like the same symptoms that I had yesterday, which is surprising because today is when I thought I was going to start feeling really good, and then tomorrow epic. So I'm hoping I still feel epic tomorrow, but right now, yeah, I actually just feel like I want to go to bed. So we're still day 4. I'm lying in bed, got the diffuser going and got the salt lamp, and I've just tricked my kids into going to bed early. It's 7:05 in the evening and I'm just absolutely knackered. I'm so tired. Sort of came out of nowhere about an hour and a half ago. Both my kids are coughing and spluttering a bit, so I'm not sure if I've picked up something from them or I'm fighting that off as well as the toxins. But either way, I'm so tired. Day 4, 7 o'clock in the evening, and I'm going to bed. All right, so we're day 5, the last day. I've just had my breakfast enema. See here, it's on the ground there. That's where I lie, and that's where it goes. But I've just finished it, and last night I went to bed at, just get the light here. I went to bed at 7:30. I was completely exhausted. I was irritable. I was aching. I had a bit of flu symptoms. I wondered if I caught it off the kids, but apparently you can get these symptoms when you're detoxifying. And I had dreams last night, so I take these tablets. It's called finasteride. I was dreaming about those tablets because they're a pharmaceutical, and I was thinking, because I knew my body was detoxifying. I was aching. Apparently what happens is the toxins release from fat tissues, from mucous tissues, from internal organs, and gets released in the body, and that's what can make you ache in the legs, in the lower back, in your organs, can make you tired, can make you irritable. So to think all these toxins are being released in my bloodstream, last night I was thinking about all my party years in my early 20s, I was thinking about taking that pharmaceutical and all this build-up toxin that's in my body that's now being released is pretty unbelievable. It's kind of a real connecting experience, this, with your body, knowing what's inside it, it just lives in there, and what you can do to get rid of it. Now, right now I'm feeling a bit better. I'm still a bit achy, but better than I was yesterday. Day 5, I'm hoping as the day progresses, I'm going to be feeling top notch.
Yeah, how are you, mate?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, good.
How
How you feeling?
You know, I actually felt probably the worst I felt last night, believe it or not, out of the whole 3 or 4 days, just in terms
Really?
of... So,
The thing about a 5-day fast is you do a lot of the heavy work in the first 5 days. You know, like when I said I did that 2-week fast, it was, after day 7 that I started to really perk up a lot. And so whilst you can feel, whilst your body will get a great cleanse, you may not feel really good until afterwards. I probably, because of the 5-day fast, and sometimes it can take that long to get over the hunger. But, the fact that you're getting those symptoms is really good.
but today, overall, I have felt a lot better. Still a little bit achy, but a lot sharper in the head. Not as irritable. Flu symptoms have subsided. I definitely feel like I'm on the path to feeling magnificent. And it could be tomorrow or it could be the next day, but I know it's not too far away. All right, so I've just woken up after the final day. This is day 6, 5 days are behind me. First morning, this is what I'm weighing.